Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to find probability, the population mean, the population standard deviation, and the population variance on a hypergeometric probability distribution. If you're given the formula, how do you find that on an fx-991ES plus second edition calculator by Casio? Well, here's an example. A bowl contains or has 12 or 10 white and 16 black beans. If you reach in and grab 7 beans without replacement, find the probability that exactly 4 of those beans in my hand are white. Well, this part right here where it says without replacement is the part that tells me it's a hypergeometric. So there's hypergeometric. Now, how do you do a hypergeometric? Well, here's that. If I added the 10 white beans and the 16 black beans, I have a total of 26 beans in this jar, or in this bowl. 10 are white, 16 are black. I reach in and grab 7 beans, of which I want exactly 4 of those 10 to be white, and 3 of those 16 to be black. So in order to do this on a calculator, you have to figure out the formula. It would be 10 choose 4 times 16 choose 3 over 26 choose 7, meaning 10 combination 4 times 16 combination 3 over 26 combination 7, which can also be written this way. Now, how do you do that? Well, when you're done, the calculator is going to look something like this. You'll go ahead and clear your calculator. You'll go 10. Now to get a combination, it's above the division key. So hit Shift divided by 4. So see 10C4, 10C4, which is the same thing as this is the combination, times 16, Shift, division key, 3, 16C3, divided by 26, Shift, division key, 7. So it's going to look like that. If you hit that, if you hit equals to, it gives you a fraction. But that's not a fraction. How do I make it a decimal? That's what S to D is about, this right here. It changes from standard to definition and back. So by pressing it, it becomes a decimal. By pressing again, it becomes exact. By pressing it again, it becomes a decimal. And it's a toggle switch between standard and a decimal. I wanted a decimal number. That's where that 0.178777744, where I get that number. Now, the population mean has to do with these guys. I need to know that 26 is my M, 7 is what I've grabbed, 10 white, and 16 black. So what I want, oops, my bad, don't mean to move that. What I really want is to go ahead and just use these values here, the top values. These bottom values are only used for probabilities, like I did in the first problem. I'm not finding a probability, I'm finding a population parameter, so I only use those top 2 numbers. So for population mean is N times W over M. So it'd be 7 times 10 over 26. 7 times 10, you would go clear it. 7 times 10 divided by 26 equals 35/13, which remember S to D goes to 2.6923, et cetera, et cetera. Now to find you find the population variance, because that's the way that the formula is written. The variance is N times W over M, which is the same thing we have here, times B over M, which is this guy over 26, times M minus N over M minus 1. 26 minus 7 over 26 minus 1. So clearing that, it goes 70, 7 times 10 is 70, 16, 26 minus 7 is 19, 26 times 26 times 25. You could do this a couple of different ways, and I'll show you 2 ways. You decide which way you like better. I just like multiplying the numerators together. 70 times 16 times 19, divided by and putting all that in parentheses, denominator. So start with the parentheses, 26x squared times 25, close it, and equals. I get 1,064 over 845, which I want to change to a decimal, 1.259171598. Now, if you don't like doing it that way, we could also do it this way. I'll clear it. You see my fraction bar. On top of my fraction bar goes 70 times 16 times 19. Arrow down. And on the bottom, I go 26x squared times 25. Basically the same thing. Gives me the same number here, and if I go decimal, 1.25917. Now, that's in order to get the population variance. Remember, the relationship between variance and standard deviation is that the standard deviation is the square root of that number right there, which I already have on a calculator. So once you have this number, all you have to do is hit the square root button and answer, and it gives it to you right, 1.122128, et cetera, et cetera. That's the easiest way. Now, if you want to do it the hard way, we can do it that way too. Hit square root and the fraction key, and go 70 times 16 times 19 on top, arrow down, and go 26 squared times 25, and that gives you 1.1221, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you can also, a lot of times what I'll do, instead of having to use the fraction key, I don't need that. Just go 70 times 16 times 19 divided by, in parentheses, 26 squared times 25, close parentheses, equals, gives you the same number. So I showed you a few ways that you could find both the population standard deviation, this number, or the variance. Remember how to get the variance? Just square that number and you got it. Just go S to D and you got it. So I showed you a couple ways to do that. I hope one of these stick with you. I hope you're enjoying this. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.